guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've had a lovely week. With August coming to a close, it's now time to set up my monthly spreads for September. This month I'm going to be doing a koi fish theme. I have a set of 8 spreads to set up to get me started for this month. Some of these spreads I used last month, which I'll be showing in an August flip through and review video soon. I've used a much larger range of supplies for this setup, so here is a more detailed list. For this setup, I've purchased some absolutely beautiful stickers from Kayla at Planning with Kay. I've used a range of stickers from her koi fish collection. I'll leave a link to her website, YouTube channel and Instagram accounts so you can purchase her stickers if you like, and also check out her stunning bullet journal setups. Without further ado, let's get started setting up some new monthly spreads. When I create monthly setups, I like to start with a cover page and a quote. I feel it helps set the mood and helps separate sections in my journal better. I'm starting with a quote from Oscar Wilde that says, "And all at once the summer collapsed into fall." Now if you've seen my August weekly setups, you'll recognise the dotted paper that I'm using. This dotted graph paper is what I purchased on Etsy to fit in with my vintage modern theme. I thought it would be a really nice way to tie in the transition from summer to autumn. I'm using my Tombow mono drawing pen in the size 03 for the plain lettering, and then my Uniball white gel pen for the faux calligraphy. I'm just erasing the pencil lines under the white ink sections beforehand, as it is difficult to get rid of afterwards without making a mess. It also helps to get rid of the permanent shadow left behind by pencil marks. Now I'm moving on to the September cover page. I kept this very simple, using just an orange Crayola super tip for September, in a rather bold but plain font. I'm using my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to write in 2020 underneath, again very simple and neat. I'm also adding in a drop shadow to create some depth and interest. Now, using some of the stickers from the speckled koi fish sticker sheet and some lily pads from the 3rd page of the monthly kit, I'm adding some decoration to my cover page. I'm just erasing some dark pencil marks and touching up where some of the colour has been removed using my orange Crayola and Tombow brush pen. With the cover page complete, it's now time to move on to my calendar spread. I'm using a header from the monthly kit and the monthly overview title sticker here. Using my Tombow mono drawing pen in size 3, I'm drawing in the calendar. It spans 2 pages with the weekends on the right hand side. To make my calendar a bit more interesting, I'm using 3 Crayola super tip markers to add a splash of colour in the top row of each box. I've used the orange from the title page, a dark turquoise and sky blue in an alternating pattern. With some colour now in the mix, it's time to add the days to my calendar. Using the Monday through Sunday koi fish pattern letters in the monthly kit, I'm just adding these above the top row. I thought this looked really pretty and I was happy with the result. I then used my Tombow brush pen to add in the dates in the top right of each box and colour strip. With my monthly view, I like to include a running master task list of big ideas or projects that need to be completed that month. These aren't date specific, but I'll transfer these to my weeklies as and when I know I can complete them. I also like to include 3 monthly goals that are realistic and actionable, so there's always something to drive my day. Since September is the start of the academic year, I've decided to split my to-do list into uni and personal tasks. This will help me to keep my planning separate and more productive, especially being a third year student. I now have my dissertation to contend with, which highly influences my final grade, so I want to make sure I'm organised and prepared for the months ahead. In the top left of the right hand page, I've included a small socials tracker to see how my channel and Instagram is getting on. It's good to see how things are moving so I can improve my content so it is both entertaining and useful for you guys to watch. Using my Tombow mono drawing pen in the size 01, I'm writing in my goals for September, which are doing my journal every day, creating a consistent upload schedule for YouTube and Instagram, and increasing my social media engagement and following. In the empty space on the left hand side and underneath my calendar, I'm just adding some fish and lily pads for decoration to finish off my monthly overview spread. The next spread I'm creating is one inspired by Kayla. I used this spread in July and August and found it very helpful. I've adapted it a little though to suit my needs a bit better. This is the daily review spread in which I'll rate how I slept that night using the scale along the top of the right hand page and write a small summary of what I did that day. I don't journal in the traditional sense, so I use my bullet journal as an organisational tool to track my time and my mental health, so this acts as a snapshot of every day of the month. I enjoy having a separate mood tracker and I don't get on well with traditional sleep trackers, so a rating system works best for me. This can also double up as a gratitude log if I don't end up doing much that day. I found when I use gratitude logs separately, I tend to repeat myself, so to save paper, I condense it into my daily review spread. The scale along the top ranges from an awesome night's sleep to a bad night's sleep. I find that tracking your sleep in this way is much more valuable than the amount of hours you had, as it works more on how well rested you feel in the morning. You can sleep for 4 hours one night and still feel better rested than if you had 7 or more hours sleep another night. I'm just adding 2 koi fish stickers and the lily pad sticker underneath my sleep rating scale to finish off this spread. Now it's time to make one of my favourite pages, the brain dump. For me, having a brain dump is so helpful. I can put any random or fleeting thoughts I have here, and it's helpful for uncategorised thoughts that don't always fit neatly into a notes section of a weekly spread. It can be as specific or as generic as I need it to be, and there's another way to organise my thinking. Using my Tombow brush pen, I'm adding in the title. I use my Uniball white gel pen here to add some highlights to make the title look a little bit less flat. I recently bought some new koi fish themed supplies, including a stamp from Paper Chase and some washi tapes from Etsy. I managed to find a green watercolour washi tape that looks like lily pads and a dark koi fish tape. I'll pop links for these in the description box below. Now moving on to my mood tracker. This month I've gone with a lily pad page that was quite in keeping with the koi fish theme. I've used my mono drawing pen in the size 1 to draw the lily pads and a selection of greeny shades for the key. I've used a scale of 4 moods as it better suits my needs than a basic good, okay, bad scale. This includes a really good mood, as more often than not my days are really good. To make it seem more like a pond or lake, I'm adding in some koi fish stickers in the gaps between the lily pads. I thought this added a nice touch and made the spread look nice. This next spread is my productivity tracker. It's one of my more complex monthly spreads as I like to include a Dutch door for my key. This setup is inspired by Jashi Corinne and Ricardo of the Boosted Journal. It's a bit more suited to my needs than a monthly habit tracker. I also find that I forget to fill it in. So what I do now is I have a small habit tracker in my weekly setups as I'm more likely to fill it in, and then I have my more detailed monthly productivity tracker to track how I've been using my time. If you want more detail about this, I can make a separate video explaining how I use the tracker. Give this video a like if you'd like to see that. In the meantime though, I'll link you to the videos I mentioned above so you can see how the original creator uses it and how I've used an approach similar to Jess Ajashi Corinne. I'm using 4 categories in my tracker, including university in orange, self-care in pink, social in blue, and my YouTube and Instagram in light turquoise. Each category has several different icons, with each one representing a different activity. Under university, I have icons for my dissertation work, any reading I do, studying, and revision or reviewing any tough content. Under self-care, I've included a range of activities that I like to do in my spare time that are providing some me time. Whilst it isn't necessarily normal productivity, I still think it's something we often forget to make time for, or forget to do at all. It's important that we recharge and unwind when we're stressed or overwhelmed, and it's definitely a productive activity that is worth doing for our mental health. Moving on to the other side, I have the other 2 categories, social and my YouTube channel. With coronavirus putting a stop to most social gatherings, we've all been feeling pretty isolated and lonely at times. With this in mind, I think it's pretty important to make sure we're using our time for friends, family and our partners. Due to being in lockdown, I was pretty bored and didn't have much to do, or some things I just couldn't because of the government restrictions, hence why I started my channel. I had time to spare and it's something I wanted to do for a long time. Under social, I have date night with my boyfriend, and spending time with friends, family, or if I come home, although this will be more difficult due to social distancing. I also then have my YouTube tasks, like filming and editing, and also Instagram tasks, like taking or editing photos and making posts. Now that the key section is complete, it's cutting time. Using a pair of scissors, I'm just cutting off the paper I don't want. Then, using a craft knife, I'm cutting the paper at the spine for a neater cut. The craft knife is more precise than scissors and are perfect for close to edge work. A pair of scissors alone just won't cut it. See what I did there? I'm also adding some koi fish stickers on either side of my key flap underneath all my icons. Using a monodrawing pen in size 5, I'm adding all the dates. I also drew all of the icons with this pen. Using the dark turquoise Crayola marker, I'm just adding the title to my spread. Because of the way I've cut the Dutch door, you can see the title above it at all times. Now, using my Fudenosuke hard-tip brush pen, I'm writing in a quote from Jim Rohn that says, "Don't spend major time on minor things." This quote really resonated with me because I find I can end up wasting my time worrying about things I can't change or that are out of my control, taking my major time away from doing things that are important to my degree or my interests. I just finished this spread off with a lily pad and koi fish sticker. With my most complex spread complete, I'm moving on to a more mundane spread to track my finances for the month. Now that I'm going back to uni and my student house, I'll need to start budgeting and keeping on top of my money again. Using a size 3 monodrawing pen, I'm creating this grid. Here I'll note down my large expenses and more regular bills like my rent, utilities, groceries and subscriptions I have, like my phone bill and Spotify. Using the vertical number strip from the add-on sheet, I'm placing this next to my grid so I can write in the amount and what I've spent my money on. I'm just using a light grey Crayola to mix up the rows so they don't all look the same and to break up the page better. Again, this spread was inspired by Kayla and is one I've used before. Page is a spending log for all of my optional or personal expenses, so any takeaways or food I eat out, anything I purchase for fun like a game or any journal supplies, or maybe clothes. I've also got another section for other expenses that don't fit in anywhere else. I actually made a mistake here when drawing the vertical lines, but it's okay. I could maybe use it as a section to provide a budget for that category, so I can increase my control and drive down impulse purchases. Off this monthly setup, I'm going to create my first weekly spread for the month. I'm using a completely new layout, one that I've never used before, in an attempt to plan out my day more precisely. Each weekday will have 2 sections, a small one at the top for big events or due dates, and a larger one for an hourly breakdown of the day, from 6 AM to 10 PM. This will allow me to schedule my day and show me where my free time is. I'm hoping it'll make me more productive at uni and get more work done throughout the day. The sections for the weekends are much smaller as less planning is needed and they're allowed to be spontaneous. I've also included a meal planner in the bottom left to help with grocery shopping, so I can limit my spending to the recipes I've planned. This way I can save money and I also don't overbuy, as I'm only buying specific ingredients I need. I'll have a couple of grace meals if I really don't fancy what I've planned, or if I'm too tired or ill to cook. I'm making a small calendar on my weekly spread so it's clear what week we're on and also what week number in the academic year we're in. I've started at 1 again for September as most of my life surrounds the student calendar. I've used my light grey Triplus Fineliner for the out of month dates and my dark grey one for the week numbers. I'm also creating my small weekly habit tracker in the bottom left of the right hand page. I'm tracking similar habits to last month, so doing my journal every day and being in bed on time, but I've also included studying, as my time now needs to be dedicated to my modules and their associated workloads. I've just added the Monday through Sunday stickers from page 2 of the monthly kit and some of the green paint splodge washi tape for decoration in the empty space. That brings us to the end of the video. Here's a final flip through of my September setup. If you enjoyed this video, do check out my other videos too. I'll be releasing a detailed August flip through and some student bullet journal videos soon. Like and subscribe and leave any comments down below. Don't forget to click the bell to be notified when I make a new video. For other updates and behind the scenes extras, you can follow me on Instagram at Gweni_Tamara. Thank you for watching and I'll chat with you guys next time.